What he's doing.
This episode of the Long Run Podcast is sponsored by Skechers. Hang on. I will get it. Hang on. There. Very fair. I've done well. You wouldn't have noticed. I don't think anyone noticed that first bit.
No one. All right.
I was still getting over the Toby story, to be perfectly honest with you. Sorry, evening everyone. I was just getting updated about Speedcoat, the fact that he actually thought he was on tonight and realised he's not. So that's brilliant.
Well, he might appear at some point. But anyway, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Long Run live stream and podcast brought to you by FORDY Runs and our sponsors at Skechers. So head over to skechers.co.uk to check out all of their latest trainers and gear. And we are under good, we've got good knowledge that the Go Ride 11 is now on skechers.co.uk. But I had to get that right then. Oh, here we go.
Modelling, my second pair.
It's an audio platform, but...
Yeah, don't do it, mate.
Chris is holding up on the screen a black
second pair.
Second pair of
yeah. I'm like a kid in the sweet shop tonight. Second pair's arrived.
Yeah, you didn't wear them at the weekend.
Yeah, I'll probably trot about that thing that I've just also found out. There's a lapse on Sunday, by the way. We need a convo about that in a minute. I like the way you spring that on me just before we go live on air. But yeah, I'll probably wear them on Sunday.
All right. Anyway, right, tonight I'm joined by Chris, Jatila and Gemma. We're going to be talking to you about how to run a faster 5K, giving you some tips and advice on that. And as well as everything else, please put your comments in on Facebook and YouTube. There should be a link for Facebook that Chris has put down the side, so please click on that so that we can see your name. And if you can't, just put your name at the end so we know who we're talking to. It's lovely to see people popping up already saying good evening, so hello to you all. Right, let's start. How are we? How are you, Gemma? We haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, it has been a little while. I'm good. I was just trying to work out what I'd been up to since I last saw you. So loads of different park runs. Again, really enjoying the parkrun tourism at the moment. It's just been super fun. I think recently we went up to see Louise East and Rob. They were celebrating their 100s together. So that was great. A load of FORDY'S turned out for that. And what was really nice was that actually the weather was beautiful. The course was dry. We've done so many park runs lately that it's just been muddy, like really wet, falling over, or almost falling over. I only done that once. Yes, that's been really, really good fun. I did landmarks, obviously.
Yes.
And I really enjoyed it. I've been really reluctant to kind of sign up to lots of races this year. I think cost of living, just trying to find different challenges. And when I got through on the ballot, I thought, maybe I won't because I got a place and thought maybe I won't do it because it is quite expensive.
Yeah, they're not
cheap. Absolutely worth every penny. I was so glad I signed up. It was brilliant, and we ran with Neve, Mark, and I. Yeah. She absolutely smashed it. So it was really good. Really enjoyed that. I don't think I've been up to much else. Volunteering, and I had the amazing opportunity this year to volunteer not only at the baggage at the start, but also a few of us got asked to see if we were available to do the tinfoil, the blankets at the end. I got to see Chris finish. And that was really nice to kind of see it from a different perspective.
Yeah.
With all the finishers.
Down there at the finish line.
Yeah, it was lots of different emotions, lots of people just elated and, still kind of full of energy. But there was a lot of people absolutely exhausted and so emotional, and they wanted to tell you their story. And I had one lady got her phone out and was showing me a picture of her grandchild and sent her a little message. She was so proud. It was lovely. So it was lovely to have that opportunity to kind of be part of that journey for them as well.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? Because you see them at the beginning when people are so nervous and like so anxious and giving you their bag, and then you probably saw people that are giving you their bag at the end as well, and they've just completed 26.2 miles.
And it's just like that relief on their faces. It's done. So whether they hated it or loved it, they're like, it's done.
Yeah.
No, it was good. Really good.
Oh, good. Jatila, how you doing?
Hello. I'm good.
I need an update from her about the medal.
Oh yeah, I was going to ask that.
Let me just first of all, I was good. And now that you've brought it up, it's just brought back.
I know what's happened.
Yeah, I've been good. I've had a great last sort of like a week and a bit, really busy with work, kind of dimmed down a bit on the runs because I really did feel it after Boston. So I was kind of a little bit tired in the legs. Also coming back from the injury, I wanted to just take it slow. Like with Hackney coming up, I just want to enjoy it. So I've done the bare minimum. I've probably done about 3 runs since, and it's been great. It's been really nice, really chill, really enjoying it. But yes, the medal is still not in my hand.
No.
What? I thought you said it was like on its way.
You're doing tracking number and stuff.
So I got the piece of paper. So the company that was buffering my medal out, for people that don't know, I came home from Boston without my Boston medal because they engraved somebody else's name on my medal. Traumatic. I'm over it. Just about trying hard. But yeah, so I emailed them like 2 days ago and said, sort of, can I just have an update on the tracking? Because they sent me the details of it being shipped, like the UPS thing. But there was no like tracking, like the tracking was on the receipt behind the page. So I've asked for that like 2 days ago. And I've had no response.
I can't believe it.
So yeah, there's still no Boston medal. It's been 2 weeks and 2 days, not that I'm counting. But yeah.
I can't believe it.
I know. I really just wish I brought it home now and did it myself. But they said it would be super quick. And it's still not with me.
What courier is it? Is it like?
UPS.
And do they know about it at all?
Well, I saw on I don't think they understand the severity of this situation. Like, this is real serious. So yeah, I know I said like 2 weeks ago, I'm hoping to get it.
I tell you what, because I'm a nice guy. Do you want to borrow my hat?
Yeah. I don't think it will fit on my head, but I'll take anything right now.
I mean, it'll bring back fond memories of when we all went to Boston. I know. Did I go? I can't remember.
You were there in spirit.
I was 100%.
Yeah,
I was the fuel to your
spirit.
325.
I mean, it's great, and I know that it will come soon, and I can enjoy it. But for now, sorry to put everyone on a downer as we start. But yeah, no medal.
I just don't even know where to go from there. I'm going to go to Chris.
I'll pick everybody back up again.
Go on.
Yeah, please.
But firstly, thanks. We've already got a couple of people. Facebook users use the link thing I put in there. They've been asking about slowing down and things like that. We're going to come on to that. We're going to talk about how we're going to speed you all up, how we're going to get your 5K time down. We're going to make you all feel awesome. We're going to make everybody feel super, super speedy by the end of this show. And you're all going to want to get on a plane and go and run Boston, come back with your own medal. But we will. So if you got any questions about speed, how to fasten up, how to speed up, things you've learned, stuff like that, stick it in the chat now. If you're running along and listen to this as a podcast, slow down because you're going to need to take some of this advice on. It's really going to help you out. I've got to give a shout out to the guys in London and Sue for making me feel so welcome on, I can't remember what day it was, but I was there on time. And that was good. They enjoyed that, I think. Maybe. Not sure.
Did
but
they?
Sue, what day was it?
Wednesday.
Thank you. And I've got to give a shout out to, all the satellites, but I've got to give a shout out to the Surrey guys who will celebrate their 2-year birthday. Hayden put us all to shame again. He's not here tonight. Get this right. I'm being deadly serious. He's doing a concert at Old People's Home because of the coronation thing. They have. I'm not making it up, right? That's why he's not here.
What's he doing?
He's doing a couple of numbers down at the Old People's Home for the coronation. They're having a little tea party. They've dragged him out. Don't forget, he's an ex-boy band star. So that's good. I'm not making it up. So good old Hayden. Anyway, so that's that. There was something else I had to say, but I can't remember what it was.
Hayden apparently is throwing a party.
What party?
For his satellite. I'm just saying, I haven't had an invite to this party, so. I
live in the same satellite area and I haven't had an invitation.
It's just wrong.
Rude.
Yeah, it's just rude. I think bless him. I think, to be honest with you, it's gone a bit crazy with the people coming because people have found out now again that he was in that band. People are actually doing more bookings for it. I should probably be his agent, really, when you think about it, because he's got famous through this now. Because we're now the biggest running podcast in the world. He should probably thank me for it. I'm just thinking about it. Anyway, so that's news. But there was something else, but I can't remember it. Oh yeah, that was it. I want to know about this laps thing because literally just before we came in here, you might have noticed I mucked up the start a little bit. That's mainly because I was absolutely gobsmacked because I was told that I'd be doing laps on Sunday, which I wasn't aware of because I wouldn't be coming otherwise. So talk to me about it. Why am I doing laps?
Right. Oh my God. Right. We are doing the Red Bull Wings for Life. So people might remember I went and interviewed Colin Jackson.
Brilliant. Well done.
Now. And we were talking about Wings for Life, which is a Red Bull initiative for charity. And you set off, everyone in the world sets off at 12 o'clock UK time. I don't know whatever time that is around the world. And you get a 30-minute head start. And then chaser car, a virtual chaser car, not a real car like I initially thought. I thought I was just going to be running down a road. I was like, how do I not get caught by this actual car? A virtual car through an app basically chases you down. So you just keep going. It doesn't matter how fast, how slow, what pace you're going. You can walk, you can skip, you can crawl, do what you want until the car chases you. And they do it. You can do it virtually. So anyone can sign up and do it kind of from their house, or you can go to an event around the world. So we're heading down to Battersea. But obviously we can't just run down the roads of London.
Why?
Because we don't really run over.
Run wherever I like.
Well, you can, but
yeah.
They've got, if they're organising it, there are some health and safety. You know, like I give a briefing on a Tuesday and Wednesday night and tell people not to get run over, that you ignore. So we're going to be doing, I believe it's laps of Battersea Park.
Oh, hang on.
Is it a full lap?
I don't know.
Yeah, you know the lap. What's the lap there, Chatilla?
Like if you're doing a full lap, it's around 2.5K.
Oh,
that's not bad.
Having that. That means
I know from working with opposite run through, we used to do 10K, and that course used to be 4 laps.
That's gonna be like doing Berkeley Park Run over and over and again.
Is it hilly, Battersea Park?
No. Super flat. You'll be fine.
So apparently, if you go about a 10-minute mile, right? So I just had a look at an average 10-minute mile. You will do, I think, 9 miles before a chaser car gets you. If you do 8.5-minute miles, you do about 13 miles before a chaser car gets you.
That's a lot of laps.
I'm not having this.
I'm just having a little read up.
No.
And it says,
can you help?
A 400-meter running track.
What?
A 400-meter running track with wheelchair access.
What?
400 meters. Is it on the track or is it around Battersea?
I don't know.
But then it says, and a signposted 2.5K loop will also be available to follow through Battersea Park if required.
Yeah, 2.5K laps.
Now I've done, check this out. I've done half marathon on a track. Right, I did it with Coach Al. Yeah, I did it with Coach Al. We rocked up. We did 3 million laps or whatever it was. Right, got completely dizzy, but I did it, and I probably won't do it again. So if I've got to run around a track on Sunday, I'll tell you something. I'm going to go and get the coffees. That's all I'm doing. I'm going to wait for the catcher car to catch me in Starbucks. Right? I'm just telling you now.
Ooh, I think half marathon around Battersea, if I remember rightly, is around like 8 and a bit laps or something like that.
This is unbelievable. I want to know why I was only told this like literally 2 minutes. Well, not even 2 minutes, 2 seconds before I came on it.
Hold on, because you changed our plan. I mean, not that Cambridge was going to be any better, but
to be fair, I think actually it's my fault.
It's absolutely your fault, right? So I'm like, it's my fault. And poor Toby, I don't think has even realised.
Don't tell Toe. Whatever you do, don't tell Toe.
I think he's having a bad day. Let's not bring that up.
Let's not tell Toe.
Well, no, I have told him. I have said about 3 times in the last 2 days. We're going to Battersea on Sunday now, not Cambridge. I've had no response.
Yeah, but he won't have a clue because he'll be one of his tired but annoying moods. So he'll be like really, really annoying because he'll be so tired for all the work he's been doing. Yeah. So can you imagine his attitude when he finds out about we've got to run 72 laps around the track?
No, I think it's about 2.5K laps.
Gem,
the track is there.
Gemma, we're holding you to this because
I've had a little look. It's round Battersea Park. 2.5K, I reckon.
I think Chatilla, you should do it.
You can still sign up.
Yeah, you both should do it.
I mean, I do love Battersea. Battersea is great, especially if you want to run a faster 5K. Battersea is a great park.
Oh, I like your plug. I like what she's done there. See what she did there.
If you do want to run a faster 5K, Battersea is great. But for 2 laps, yes. any more than 4, got to really mentally prepare.
What you're saying though is everyone that's listening should all be signing up to go to Battersea Park on Sunday, run 5K really fast, and then just walk around till you get to Starbucks.
Basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hear you.
If you think of it like that and just keep adding a 5K on each time, it's like you're just refreshing. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
It's going to be awful.
Or just let the car catch you.
Yeah, just
And
let
then
me
you
know
can
how you
I'm
get
going to
on.
lay down and get run over by the virtual car. I don't want to do another lap. Hit me, is what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to be like. Anyway, look.
So we're going to Battersea to cause chaos on Sunday. If anyone wants
but
to
if you all want to come along and have a laugh and watch me moan for a couple of hours, come along to Battersea. It'll be fun. I might. What's the weather going to be like?
warm, 18 degrees apparently.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh,
Cheeky little vest.
summer.
Oh, I could wear my new camo. Oh, yes. Lovely.
No,
Yes.
you're not going.
I was saving it for Hackney because I was running with Jatilla at Hackney and I got a little outfit to wear as we run alongside each other.
I'm so excited. I can't wait.
Can I just say, you can't keep up with her. I can't wait.
What's your half time, Jatilla?
1:39.
I'll do her easy.
Yeah, I struggle over the half. I don't. Yeah, I do.
I'll do her easy. Me and my mate Mark Wright, we'll come down there. We'll
Maybe
smash
you
you
can
up.
race me to a PB because I would still want a PB.
Yeah,
Like,
we do that. I'm
Right.
good at placing celebrities.
yeah.
You want a PB at Hackney?
I would like to try. I feel
Oh,
like
no, it's an awful
1:39
place to
is
do a
like.
half. It's a really good course. It's a really good course. Sorry, it's a really good course. But usually, the reason I say it's awful because it's like melting hot.
Oh no.
Usually,
Mm.
and it's blinding. The crowds, I love it. The crowds are phenomenal.
I've
right?
heard the crowds are like the best.
Yeah,
like,
they are. But it's awful because it's usually so hot, and because there's so many runners on course, it feels really, really hot. So
Yeah.
I would just say to you, be bloody careful.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. I've like last time I saw 3 people getting like resuscitated, and I'm being deadly
I
serious.
heard that last year, because I was away last year when that event happened. I heard there was actually quite a few serious.
Yeah, no, there was a fatality
Yeah.
or whatever you call it as well.
Yeah.
Someone did, unfortunately.
Gemma was out there watching.
Yeah, me and Mark were
as well.
cheering, and yeah, it wasn't good.
Yeah, it's not one to push, mate.
Especially like, you know, those ones near the sort of the front end of the pack, just really pushing themselves to kind of get that PB, and you know, sometimes just really not worth it.
Yeah, it's not.
It really isn't.
So don't do it there. Come to Southend.
What's Southend like?
Flat.
Okay,
Like dead aim flat.
sign me up.
Yeah, just do it. Let's go.
I'd, if I was you, I think he's right. I'd go and enjoy Hackney, and I'd go to Southend 3 weeks later and go for it there.
Smash the life out of that, mate.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 3 weeks later. That
Yeah.
could
Oh,
work
she's off. She's
perfectly.
Judith Chalmers. She's away again. New
Yeah.
York or
No, I'm not away now with work until August, which is
right.
fantastic.
This is on. I think she's
Yeah.
going to win Southend half marathon. No pressure.
Right.
Right. So look. Right. So tonight, the reason I said about the topic is to run 5K faster, which I think is brilliant, right? Because we put this up we picked this last week. All I've seen all week is people coming out and going how to run a faster 5K. All the coaches at the running channel have been putting stuff out about how to run a faster 5K. Everything you read, Runners World, everything's all about running faster K. Now, the reason that is because obviously the marathon season, apart from a few, has finished. So to sell magazines and to get you to read stuff, when people come out with this faster 5K. Now, I wasn't thinking that. I actually thought to myself, I'm feeling very flat after doing a big training block. I need something to get me focused and something to get my teeth into. Otherwise, I'm going to fall into a pit of despair, which I have actually felt a bit like that this week. And I think that's down to my lack of running, mainly because my legs.
Missing Toby.
No. I did that soppy biking at the weekend, which is the most pointless thing in the whole world, and it should be banned. I've told the king to outlaw it on Sunday or wherever it is when he gets his crown, but I hated it, and my legs hurt all week. But I think you generally do feel really flat and low after a big training block. And for me, somebody obviously, you know, openly struggles with like ADHD and stuff like that, I really find myself quite low if I'm not running like regularly. And I've really struggled this week. So I'm kind of really looking forward to getting stuck into some speed and some form of hard sessions to sort of give me a bit of drive over the next few weeks, because, and I've been doing a lot of training plans the last week or two. Most of the training plans are starting middle to end of June to sort of mid-July. If you're doing something from, let's say you're doing Great North Run, you've got like middle of June. If you're doing Chester, I think you're about the 19th of July, some around there, right? So we've got effectively, let's say, if I'm going to say 5 or 6 weeks to play with.
Yeah.
And I think that's the key. This is a really good time to sort of throw away all that, oh Christ, I've got to do this run and that run, but go out on every run with a purpose and really get after it, because and then target a park run like Jem goes to park run, or whether it's like you just said, Jatila, 5K race over at Battersea, something like that you can get your teeth into. So it takes it, instead of being flat and down and what am I going to do now? You get yourself something to focus on. So that's why I picked the topic last week, because I knew that I would be coming on a bit of a Debbie Downer myself. I knew that was going to come because I always get like this after I've done a big training block. So that's why I wanted to talk about it. So I think So firstly, there's still that training plan. If you want something to do, right, and it's not plugged because I don't care because it's free. But there's a training plan on the 40 Runs website. Just go and get that for free. I can't remember what it's called, but it's on the website. And it's like a 6-week training block plan. You can just go and get it. There's a few sessions in there you can crack on with. That's up there. Just crack on. But I think what would be good, interesting from my side, talking firstly to Tatilla because of your background, Mrs. Speedy Pants, what they sort of drilled into you would be interesting. And then let's spin around and find out what you guys are doing in terms of what would you do to get faster. Should we do that? What do you think, Abby?
Yeah.
Right. So, Jatila, what in terms of your background as a sprinter, what sort of distance? What was your forte?
Ooh, well, if I put it into context, I used to hate running any further than 200 meters. And I think we actually had this conversation, Gemma, last time we were on the podcast. I used to hate running more than a lap. It was draining. It was tiring. I hated it. So my sessions would tend to be a Tuesday, a Thursday, a Saturday, and a Sunday. So Tuesday and Thursday would be pretty much speed. So it would either be lots of 200-meter reps. So it'd be like a pyramid. I tend to do pyramid reps, which I still do in my training now. So doing like a 250, then a 200, then a 150, then a 100. And it would really work the speed in there. And I used to absolutely love that session. It was great. And then during the winter season, on other days, I might tackle maybe more of like a grass session. So I do like 1 minute on, 1 minute off. So it's still at a reasonable speed. And that was pretty much the whole of my sort of training block, opting in with some sort of gym and things like that. But since moving to the long distance, I kind of still wanted to, I've obviously kept in a lot of my speed, and my favorite sessions is speed. So training for a marathon, I was getting so excited to sort of go and train for on a Wednesday, my speed session would be, and I'd be so excited for it. And the difference was crazy. So I'm enjoying 1K reps. And I think especially if you're wanting to do like a 5K, 1K reps are great because you can go out, you can sort of find where you feel comfortable, and you've still got enough time to sort of hold that pace, pick it up or slow it down. So I think that's great. Like a fantastic session, like 6 1-minute 1K reps was always a treat, and it would always sort of just give you that sort of push. But since the marathon training and stopping marathon training since Boston, I've now started to implement doing my speed sessions on a Sunday. So obviously, like now that marathon season sort of, well, for me is now over, I want to try and look to run a little bit faster myself, not necessarily over the 5K, but just in general. So having that motivation that I had from going out on a Sunday for a long run, I can now change that and use that motivation to go and kill a speed session on a Sunday, which has worked really, really well for me. And I'm going to continue to do that leading into most of the summer, really. So definitely consider sort of trying to switch up if you have come out of marathon season. Go try and change your Sunday long runs to a fast speed session. Head down to the track. You'll see so many other people. You'll meet so many other people that might be on the same similar journey.
That's a good point, actually. You just remind me of something. If you're, that's brilliant, by the way. Firstly, reps, you mean, for those who don't know?
Yeah, so reps. So realistic, I would normally do around maximum probably 6 to 8 reps of, say, 1 kilometer reps.
Okay.
But if you're starting off and you're sort of just wanting to get through your first race, start off easy, see what you can do over the 1K, and then you can kind of get a gauge for where you can step it up for multiple reps.
And when you
you're going to get faster.
Do you do the same speed every time? So you try and go 1 kilometer at whatever pace that is, and then do you have a break? So you go.
Yeah, so I definitely take breaks. So I think I mentioned 2 weeks ago when I did the podcast, I'm quite a nervous runner. So I hate to start my sessions and go too hard and be exhausted. So I always probably go out a little bit too easy just to sort of find my feet. And I think it's so important to find yourself. Don't go out and hammer it, because you don't know what's going to happen when you get minutes down the line. You want to finish the session. Like, it's time on feet, not the speed, you know. So just time on feet, get those reps done. And I normally take maybe 90 seconds to 2 minutes rest in between each one, which is key for me. You can really recover and walk it off.
Now,
nice.
I think you've cut the brilliant things there. Firstly, you've just reminded me, if you're new to, you ain't got a clue what to do at the track, right? And I'll come on to my next point. Go to the YouTube channel. We filmed some sessions down a track near us. They're so easy. Just even if you get through the video and pause it, and it will tell you what to do. There's a warm up, there's a session, and there's a cool down with stretches. Watch them. They're on the YouTube channel. Okay, that's just reminding me of them. I should probably put them out somewhere. But I do think you made a really good point about the track. I know it's hard to get on a track sometimes, because some of these traditional clubs and that they close them out and it's very difficult to get on. But there are some that you can get onto of an evening if you're just a single runner. And it is an intimidating place when you see everybody in their sore running gear running around, high-fiving each other and, you know, all this sort of stuff. It can be really, really intimidating. But I think actually you should you look to enjoy it, because it's a real change of scenery and it can really focus in on some of that speedier work. Don't fear the track, embrace the track is what I wanted to say, because I think it can, if you could try and get down to a track once a week, right, it can transform you over the summer. It really can. If you can dial in some of those sessions, it's so good for you. It really is. And then it just breaks up also some of that road work that you've probably been doing. It's like also on the flip side, going up to the trails. Yeah, get up the trails at the moment if you can. It's just a really nice place to be. And it's different from the road work. But in terms of the speed, I think if you can get to a track like Jatila was saying and get some of those sessions that she just mentioned into a week somehow, it can really transform you and set you up brilliantly for what you've got coming next.
Jump in, because Gemma, you did a session at a track, didn't you? I know that we don't really run the track, but you did one a couple of weeks ago. How was that, a 5K?
Yeah, do you know what? Considering I'm kind of running quite slow this year, and happily running slow. I went up there with Mark from the Broxbourne group, and I ran a lot faster than I thought I would. And it was I was a bit nervous, to be honest with you. I haven't run on a track since I was like 15, 16. I was a little bit nervous, but actually it was good.
It's great fun.
Really good. Yeah, really good fun.
It's great fun, and it just channels that inner kid about, I'm at a racetrack. I'm going to go like a mate around here.
Definitely.
It's so true. And it also helps you, like, especially if you are a nervous runner or you're doing your first race and you've been down at the track like a couple of times or once a week, you kind of get a feel for an atmosphere, which you're going to get on race day. Like, I think we can all vouch for turning up to one of your first races. You see all these people speeding past you, doing these ridiculous warm-ups, doing all these warm-up stretches that you have no clue about. It can feel really intimidating. So it's like getting down to the track, getting used to the atmosphere, just having a wander around, and you'll be really surprised at what you see. Or if you're sort of that sort of extrovert person, you can go and maybe have a chat with someone. More than likely, people are going to want to have a chat no matter where you are. If you're more of an introverted person, just have a little look, get comfortable with your surroundings, and just think, right, this is what I can sort of prep myself for when it comes to a bigger race, because it's going to be.
It's great. You can take. It sounds funny, but you can take your drinks down. You can leave them down the side. Literally. You can leave all your kit bag there. You can like you were saying, Jatila, you can do whatever it is, part of a session. Then you've got a recovery. You can sit down. You can have a decent hydration, so you can take some form of electrolytes with you. You can you can get all that back into you, and then off you go again. It's a really good thing to do if you can do it. I find it incredibly frustrating that there's not enough running tracks around, and the ones that are sort of, you basically got to die, so someone's got to die for you to be able to run on there, or you've got to like bribe a local club to let you on there, which is a bit silly, but it is what it is. But I just think it's, if you've got something like that on your doorstep, I appreciate, it's a cost, but some of them are like council run and they're not as expensive as you think, and you can get on them. Do it. Honestly, it will transform you if you can get on it. And as I said, there's not just the videos, but if you just go online, there's loads of sessions you can just put off and do them on a track. You'll have the best time ever. It's so much fun.
I think one of the other things that I often think about, or I've thought about with a track, is, look, life is expensive, right? And trainers, etc., expensive. Can you just go down there in your road shoes? But I think that also will put people off, because you go, God, do I need special shoes? Do I need to buy something else now? Do I need this? And therefore, actually, can you just go in your shoes and crack on?
Go in whatever you want.
Wear your Skechers.
Comfortable in. I mean, everybody's got this thing of wear this, wear that. What, are you wearing these type of shoes? Are you wearing carbon plate? What kit are you wearing? Are you wearing the arm? I just think it's ridiculous. Wear what you want to wear that makes you feel comfortable. That is literally it. I can see someone running around in jeans for all I care, and I'd laugh. But if they're having a great time, so be it. Like, what does it matter? It really does not matter what you wear, and what you're comfortable in is what you're comfortable in. So
absolutely.
I'll make you right on that. It is, again, it goes back to what I said. It's intimidation, and these places, they can feel intimidating because of the sort of people that can go there. Don't want to be stereotypical, and it isn't intimidating. But you'll probably find that most of those people are really just like you. They're just really nice, and they're just normal, and they're there to do a hard workout. And don't be intimidated by it, because you've just got as much right to be there as everybody else. And it can really, once you get into it, once you understand it, I think it's like, sounds funny, but like when you go to, if you haven't been swimming for a long time, you go to the pool, you think, firstly, I look fat. Secondly, I can't remember what lane I'm meant to be in. And thirdly, is everybody watching me in the water? No one is, right? And we all look the same. Okay. And it's that same feeling when you go to the athletics chair. But once you're in the water and you're just plodding up and down, it's the same thing. No one cares, right? So just own it, get to the track and get faster. There we go.
And at one point, everybody was where we were at, So it's like, just take that into consideration as well.
Yeah.
Heroes. Right. That's interesting. Admin, what are you doing in terms of speed work at the moment?
I mean, maybe just running would probably help, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah, there is that, I suppose. You and Gemma are a bit guilty of that, but at least Gemma's been to a track.
Yeah.
Gemma has been to a track. Do you know what I'm more interested in before we come to me, actually?
Oh.
Is Gemma. Because we were saying just before we came on, right? Gemma will run whatever pace someone next to her is running. And that could be a 6-minute mile or a 16-minute mile. It makes no difference. And Gemma, you've just said you're having quite a relaxed year in terms of running. But you've had times where obviously you've put your foot on it and it's worse. So for you, when have you found that in terms of being able to find that speed and it come more naturally than having to really, really go at it?
I think, as you know me, I've never been one to kind of really chase speed, because that's never been kind of top of my sort of priority. It's all just been about kind of just getting out, just running and enjoying the PBs kind of as they happen. I was trying to look back at sort of when was I doing my fasted 5Ks, and it was sort of between 2018, 2019, and it was when I was marathon training. But I think it wasn't because so much I was doing the long runs, but it was because I was mixing up my runs, and I wasn't being as technical as maybe you, Jatila, talking about reps and things, but I kind of knew I had to do some sort of speed work, and I would be, it doesn't have to be sort of reps on a track or anything. You can run and like, I'm going to run fast to that lamppost, or, run fast across 2 lampposts and then recover, and then run a bit fast and then recover. So I kind of did it that way, or right, I'm going to add a hill into my route, so it doesn't need to be complicated. It doesn't need to be over technical. I think sometimes we can sort of overcomplicate running and use all the jargon, and it can, again, that can be intimidating in itself. So I think because I was doing that just quite casually, but just doing it just part of marathon training, I then just found, I PB'd, So it didn't just happen that I PB'd. I'd obviously had put the work in, but it was because I was doing all those things you're talking about, Jatila. And like you've said before, Chris, you know, sometimes we can get we can do junk miles, you know, miles for the sake of just doing them. But if you're going out with a purpose and going out and say, right, I'm going to run, you know, run fast in this bit, or I'm going to take this one easy, run, you know, I'm going to run a lot slower to get that time on my feet. That all helps.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think also as well, where you are in your running journey. So if you're just starting out, those times will come down just from that consistency of being out there running. Don't worry too much about, you know, what you should and shouldn't be doing. And also, I don't know if you've noticed, I've seen so much on Facebook this week, people really, you know, wanting to get that speed back so quickly after running London or a marathon, you know, whatever marathon. And I think, you know, you do need time to recover. You know, don't worry that the speed's not there. You know, your legs have just done, you know, an amazing thing. So, yeah, there is sometimes a rush. So I think you do need to kind of be kind to yourself, listen to your body before you start trying to sort of smash it out.
Yeah, it's really easy to get caught up when we were talking about this on Wednesday night, actually, because one of our ladies that comes on Wednesday night, actually, I need to give her a shout out. Catherine Little is going out to run Prague Marathon this weekend.
Yeah,
on her own. First marathon, in Prague. So huge good luck to her. And we can't wait to see and hear how she gets on. The first thing we all went was, is there a tracking app? And she went, no, there's no tracking. And we were all like, oh, how are we going to know? So she's promised to keep us updated Sunday. So that was that. But she said it's really intimidating, actually, when you know runners and you're around runners, because she said it's incredible because you learn so much and they give you so much confidence, right? Whether it be going to a group, talking on the Facebook community, etc. It's an amazing thing because everyone gives you the belief that you can do it. Jen Conway was another one that a year ago was like, no, I'm not interested in a marathon, and then went and smashed Manchester, right? Because she was like, everyone just made her believe that, yeah, of course you can do it. But the flip side is it can be quite intimidating when you've got everyone going, oh, I'm going to get faster at this, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. And you're just like, oh my God, I've just run 26 miles. And now should I be out the next 2 days later trying to smash a 5K PB and a half PB? And you're like, oh, whoa, your body is, your muscles are in pieces. You need to rest.
Yeah,
right?
Gemma made a very good point about that. You need to get over that marathon. If you've done a marathon, or maybe you've done your first half, like Jatila was saying, you know, you come back from Boston, you run 3 times. I took 1 week off and I've run 13 miles this week. I, you know, typically run, let's say, argument's sake, 40 to 50 miles. So that's where I'm at. So that says it all, really. And don't rush it. Like you said, Gemma, it's brilliant advice. Don't rush it because everybody else is going, oh, I want to get fast. I want to get this 5K speed. It will take 6 to 8 weeks to get faster. I'm telling you now. It's different if you've done maybe a training block 16, 18 weeks. You will have, let's say, an upgraded aerobic base, right? In which you can now go and build on because you've put a proper shift in, and you can now build on that. Okay, so you know it's going to rocket you up. You've got to wait until your body's ready to absorb the next stage and the next bit of training. You made some other good points, Gemma. I just want to come back on. Firstly, is to simplify any sort of speed. You don't have to go out and go, I've got to do this on my Garmin. I've got to run 300 of this and times 8. Then I've got to rest for 30 seconds. Then I've got to go up that hill and then I've got to go. Forget all that. Like Gemma said, run to a lamppost and run back. Or run to the end of the road and walk back in recovery. It can be that simple. Don't overcomplicate it just because there's all these complicated session plans that people are writing that aren't qualified to do it and putting it on the internet and saying, oh, yeah, come watch our YouTube channel. You don't really need to do it. You can literally run around a park. You can do 1 lap slow, 1 lap fast. Yeah, it is that simple. Don't overcomplicate this process, right? It can be that simple. Somebody asked a question, is running 5K 3 to 4 times a week, is that enough to increase your speed? Yes, but if you run that 5K like badly, like what Gemma was just saying, as in like jump miles, maybe you're in zone 3 if you're looking at zone, then probably not going to achieve what you want to achieve. I think the best way to, and let's go back a step. The best way that I find increasing speed is, and you can get away with this by doing 3 to 4 runs a week, all right? And it's not big miles, it's 3 to 4 runs a week. And you literally want to go easy run, some form of like medium tempo run. Okay, I'll come on to what all this means in a minute. Then you've got like your interval session. So that's your high session. I'll come on to that. And then you've still got some form of longer run. Now, longer run is going to look a lot different to if you was just coming out of marathon training where you was blasting out 20 miles. Okay. So the easy stuff is still got to be in there. You've still got to drive that aerobic engine. Okay. You've still got to go out there. You've got to recover and you just want to put some time through your legs. Easy stuff. Like you just said, 3 miles, 5K. Absolutely fine. Or you can do a bit more. See how you're feeling. Maybe do it time-based. But it's got to be really, really easy. Okay. Then you've got that sort of, I would probably go into a interval or a high effort some day after that, whenever you feel like it. And that's your really, really tough stuff. And don't get bogged down, like I just said about these sessions where you've got to run 1K reps at this pace and you've got to, like, I don't know, fly upside down while you're eating a burger and run 300K. Whatever these sessions that come up with, because it's brilliant, right? Because your Garmin says it. Keep it simple. 1 lap round the park. Easy. 1 lap round the park, like someone's chasing you for money. Okay. It's, you know, you got to be like dead at the end of that 1 lap recovery. It could be as simple as that and build your miles up. So you cover about 3 miles, or you're doing a session with a good warm up and a good cool down that lasts about 40 to 45 minutes. But their actual high effort is probably between 20 and 30 minutes. Right. That in there, that 20 to 30 minutes is what will get you your speed. If you add that in with some form of tempo run, so lactate threshold run. Now you've got to find whatever that is, but it's an uncomfortable pace. We spoke about it before. Just find that uncomfortable pace where you know you could probably carry it on, even though you don't want to. Yeah. It's that one where we're running along and I'll say, should we do a cheeky little extra mile? And you'll go, no, but you'll do it. Yeah. You can't really talk to me. You probably tell me to shut up. And that's probably about it.
Welcome to Wednesday nights.
Yeah. It's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable, but you can maintain it. That run is a great builder. The other one that people I think really neglect because they really hammer the intervals, they hammer the fartlek sessions, they hammer the pyramids, is actually that longer run. If you come out of marathon training, you've still got a good base. You could still go and run 13 miles as quite easily. But run that 13 miles and within the middle of that, do 6 miles of it at 10K pace. That there will really build that stamina. So chuck that in the middle or at the end, whatever way you want to do it, but make sure you do a cool down. If you're doing that over a reasonable distance, that will really build the stamina in with everything else you're doing with those 4 runs. So a good example, again, a 10 miler. Do a cheeky little 2 mile warm up, super easy, like you ain't got a care in the world. Don't look at your watch. Just make sure you know you are well easy. Then step on it. Nice cheeky little bit of 10K action. Then come out of it, leave yourself a mile cool down, something like that. That again is a really good builder, and you do that over the whole week, 6 to 8 weeks, but you put the effort in on those sessions, and even on the going easy has to be an effort to make sure you're going easy. That is what will get you faster.
I think what's really good about and interesting about what we've all been talking about is a lot of this stuff you don't need loads of equipment and kit. Right.
Nothing.
So it's not stuff where you've got to go and spend money. If you've got a track easily accessible, great, right? Because it's a place to go. You can drop your stuff and you kind of know because you can count laps, you know how far you're going. But running down the road to a lamppost, running around the park and doing a lap and right, you don't need a watch to tell you. It doesn't actually matter about the distance or what pace you're going and have I actually hit 4 point whatever or 6 point whatever. It's just about to feel. And actually, if you get to the end of that lap and go, oh my God, I feel knackered and dead and I can't breathe. Okay, great. You've done it hard enough. If you get to the end of that lap and you're still chatting away, you know that you could have gone harder, right? But you don't need expensive watches. You don't need fancy shoes. You don't need to spend money on getting somewhere. You can literally walk out of your door. And I think now the weather's getting better and it's lighter, that's really important that people know that it's not got to be some massive heavy investment. There's lampposts on most roads run between.
Yeah. There's a hill at the end of your road that you can do hill sprints.
It also reminds me of sort of that lockdown time as well, where we didn't have access to all of this sort of stuff. I would run down to the local park, which was a massive field, and I would get my little brother and my little sister. One would be at one end, and I'd try and map out sort of like 100 meters to them. So I would just do sort of laps up and down on the field. They would then join in, tag team, swap over. gets you out. It was gorgeous weather. The weather's starting to get nice. Get people involved as well. Like, go down with people, go down with the kids, go down with the family. Like, make a day of it. Like, you don't have to have all of this stuff. Because I know for a fact, I definitely wasn't buying brand new stuff in lockdown. It was just plain and simple. Get the job done. Can I run in this? Yes.
Yeah, 100%. The other thing as well is to this is going to sound really random, is to run on grass.
Yeah.
As long as it's pretty even, you've got to be careful, right? But doing laps around a field where it's grassy, as long as it's pretty even, as soon as you then go onto the road, you're going to feel like a hero.
Yeah.
You're going to feel like you're like literally gliding along on roller skates compared to running in that grass. It's very much similar to like running in sand. If you can do some, you go down to South End, get a bit of rock down there, lovely jubbly, but run up and down on the sand. It's brutal, right? But if you're doing like in South End's a perfect example, down the beach, you've got them wooden things, right? You can literally do sessions between them. That's hardcore, but that's the sort of thing that you can get really inventive with, like going to the trails and doing maybe a 3-mile loop up the trails. It's a little bit testing because you've got a little bit of elevation, but you're also using your muscles differently, which is brilliant. Again, sets you up perfectly because when you get back onto the flat around Battersea and you're doing 3,000 million laps that I've got to do on Sunday, you're going to be bloody quick at it. Yeah, that's the sort of thing as well you can change up.
Yeah. Great advice. Gemma, should we go to some questions? Because there's been
Yeah, I was just going to what Chris just saying. I think Vince Warren said he's never tried to track, but he has a small local small loop that he uses. And that's perfect.
Yeah.
So you don't need all the extra equipment. Let's have a look.
Hold on, Chris, he's got his hand up, Gemma, whilst you're finding.
I've totally forgotten about this, and this is breaking news. The reason this is breaking because I'm a hero, as you probably all know by now. Hi guys, you kept me company through many long runs. We don't know who you are because we are maybe the link's about 3 days old. Question: remember Chris's challenge from ages ago? Can you beat your Garmin prediction? Now all the marathons are done. How did you all do? Now, I beat mine. If I remember rightly, I beat mine.
Do you know what? I'm trying to find it in my notebook now.
I think I beat mine. And I think Speedgoat and Hayden both didn't, which is brilliant news. Can we find this, please? Because I need to know. I wrote
it down. I've got it. I've got it here.
Okay, right. Tell me. Talk to me, Goose.
So.
This is brilliant.
Hayden's was 3:07.
I've got it. He's got to sing next week.
Hold on. He bought you back a hat and everything. I think you should.
Okay, I'll make him do something else. All right.
Toby's was somewhere between 3:39 and 3:31, depending on what he was looking at. So
3:39, 3:39. That's a problem. Okay, bad news for Tobe. It's good news
yours.
for me. Yeah.
But hold on, before I do this just goes to show that
this is brilliant. Tell him.
3:44.
I'm a hero. So I'm the only one who knows anything, and they know nothing. So they're coming next week, and they're all singing. Boys, when you listen to this back, you're in big trouble. This is brilliant. Whoever this is, I can't see who it is. Can you tell me who you are? Because I think this is the best question ever. This is great news.
What's yours, Sabrina?
Gemma, I've got a Garmin and I haven't worn it, have I?
Absolutely useless.
So I am all the gear and no idea, right? This is why I'm a better coach than I am a runner, because I can give all the advice. And actually, what was lovely, Jen and Emma, both from our Wednesday night group the other day, I said, oh, we're going to talk about faster 5K. And they went, oh, you'll be great at that because you coached us both to get a faster 5K.
That's true.
Well, that's brilliant. But yeah, I'm actually going to start wearing my Garmin, and I will maybe tell you, Gemma, and just tell them what it says.
Yeah.
And we can see what happens in Chicago. And we'll try.
This is so good. I can't wait for both of them to come back on.
Look, he's even turned his hat around.
I was proper down in the dumps. Right, proper. That's brilliant. Next thing I do when I finish this live stream, I'm going to ring both of them and hammer them. Oh no, I can't. Hayden's performing. Tobe, I'm going to ring Tobe. This is brilliant.
Right, so going back to some questions. A Facebook user that's asked, Hi guys, great Birmingham run on Sunday, 10k. Vaporfly or Adidas Pro 3.
What was it? 10k.
Yeah.
Vaporfly.
You guys might know this. How much does it cost to do a session at a track near Broxbourne as an individual?
We asked about this. I don't think they'll let you on, would they?
So it's quite difficult. It's very difficult to find a track near Broxbourne that's not linked to a local club. But there is one in Harlow, I think, that you can kind of get £5 or £6 but it's at random times. So
I went to Lee Valley, the one in but was IKEA. I don't know where it is, but it was. Yeah, that was the one when we filmed the stuff on the track. That's the one we went to, and it's a good place to go. Used to be where you used to go and get your COVID test done.
Yes.
There you go. Yeah, that's a good one.
What about the one that's Ridlands, the one up in Stevenage? Do they?
I think it's linked to a lot of them linked to local clubs.
Yeah, they don't let you
book them for their kind of clubs and their runs. And don't get me wrong, you can get onto them, but a lot of the time it's at like random times during the day, or they're linked to schools as well. That's the other challenge. You can't use them in the day. You can't use them early evening, so you've got random slots. But you can probably get onto one for about £5. In fact, someone else put a comment in saying, Gail Shaw said, I'm quite lucky as our local leisure centre runs the track at one of the high schools. They run 2 sessions a week, which cost £1.15
Oh, that's so good.
not a member, which is
so good.
I think it was £8 or £8.50 at Lee Valley, and you can book it online. You just go online and book the Lee Valley racetrack. And they've also got one indoors. They've got the 400 outside, and they've got one indoors as well. And they've got a track around the outside of it. It's really good. If you're in that sort of area, I'd really recommend that place. It's really, really good. And I've never seen it like banged out.
I want to know where this £1.15 one is, though.
Yeah, it's incredible. That is really, really good.
But that's how much it should be. So it's accessible to people.
Yeah, and that's why I want to know, so we can give them a shout out, because I'm all for that. If there's people out there doing good stuff for the everyday runner. So sorry, Gemma.
Yeah. No, someone at M White said, learning to be patient and consistent has helped me achieve my goals over trying to break my PBs every week. 100% agree.
Yeah.
Anyone done the old Goggins 4x4 48 challenge? I think Alan's done that. Alan and Carolyn.
Did he do it? I can't remember. I know
maybe he attempted. I don't know.
I think Toby's done that. Is that the one where you run 4 miles?
Toby ain't done that. I'm not having
4
that.
miles.
I'm not.
Every 4 hours for 2 days. Yeah.
I think he has.
There's no way. The only thing Toby did, he probably ate 4 burgers, 4 bacon sandwiches, and 48 chicken nuggets. And that's probably about it. That's it. And he spoke to some geezer called Goggins. Some old geezer called Goggins. That's all he did. He ate 4. That's all he's done. There's no way he's done that.
I don't know.
He can't even run he can't even run a marathon PB, as we just found out.
Stop it. God. That's 2-footed. That was a bit harsh, wasn't it?
Oh, you should have heard him on Tuesday where he went on Simon. God help us.
Gail Shaw was I think the person that said about the £1.15. It's in Oldham, so it's a little bit too far for us. Apparently the cycling velodrome at Preston Park in Brighton is brilliant for runners, and it's free as long as you stay out of the way of the cyclists. You like the cyclists, don't you?
Love them,
Chris.
Honestly, that part, don't get me. Honestly, I can't even talk about it. I'm having a nervous breakdown about it.
Can I just say, the person that sent that question she said she's delighted that you saw the question, but she's from Cambridge. It's Helen Chambers. She says she knows she's on touchy ground being from Cambridge. So.
Oh yeah, she's from Cambridge. She's Si's best friend. Helen, you're my hero. You get the comment of the year to bring that back up. I totally forgot about that. I can't get over it.
I wrote them down. I knew where they were as well.
Good. I just love the fact that Hayden's. Right, we've got those questions, I mean, that I sent in that we had come in. Should we knock them out quickly?
Yeah.
Because I'm conscious of time.
So this is a good one. I'm going to start with this one. Is that right? Which says, this is from Carla. And she says, hi guys, really enjoyed listening to the show since I found you at the beginning of the year, and I've taken lots of your brilliant tips on board during my training. with that in mind, 3 of us are running our first marathon on Sunday, the 14th of May. It's the Rob Burrows one up in Leeds, which is the first event. So I think there's a load of runners going up to do that, actually. Right, this is the crunchy bit. It has a 3-mile climb of about 420 feet, which starts at around mile 16. So that's when it starts getting tough anyway. We're obviously all fairly preoccupied with this and wanted to ask your advice on how to tackle it. Is it best to go conservatively at the beginning to save some reserves for the hill, or just go at regular pace and hope for the best? Jatila, I'm going to go to you because it feels a bit Boston-like, that one.
It's almost giving me a little bit of deja vu for a second when you're reading that out. Yeah. Well, I would definitely say keep yourself sort of reserved when you start off, because if it depends on what sort of warm-up you're going to do. If you're going to do one, you want to get to a place where you sort of feel comfortable, you know where you're at. Just get that comfortable rhythm going first as you get through those first few miles, because you know that the hills are yet to come. So find that rhythm, stick to a pace that you feel comfortable with. And I mean, don't get me wrong, if you feel like I feel really good, then if you think you're happy with going for it, maybe pick it up a little bit, but just make sure you're cautious of knowing that there are hills to come. And when it gets to that point, when you get to around that 16-mile mark and you've got the hills come in and you sort of take them on sort of, I say it's a 3-mile hill, that's pretty brutal. So yeah, take it as it comes. Like, just take every stride, take every sort of step as it comes, and don't push it too much. Like, I think a lot of people feel that when they hit a hill, they need to hit it harder to get up it. And I don't do that. Like, pull yourself back. You are going to get to the top. All you're going to do is you're going to exert so much energy because you still have a long way to go. Your race technically probably doesn't really start until that point. So pull back, and don't get me wrong, once you get to the top of that 3-mile hill and you feel great, go and kick it a little bit more. You've still got 10 miles to go. There's still so much more distance and time that you can make up over that, but don't stress too much in the first part of the race, because you'll only you don't want to disappoint yourself either. So I feel like just go out with what you know is comfortable. If you do feel good, like I did for Boston, for example, I went out a bit faster than I wanted.
Yeah.
I felt good, you know? So you just trust your body is my main thing. Trust your body. Your body won't fail you. And just, take it easy.
That's brilliant advice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, brilliant.
Thank you for that question. Right, I've got the other one that we had, which was from Chris Cummings. He says, "Hi, Fordy and friends, long-time listener and first-time emailer, so thank you. I'm in the last 4 weeks of training for my first marathon at Edinburgh." So a few of us have done Edinburgh. I think the Marinora is starting to kick in because I'm obsessed with working out what to eat in the run-up and the morning of the fueling on the run. I know I tolerate a gel every 30 minutes and use Kendall mint gels. That's okay, but do I need extra electrolytes to stop cramping? I've only gone up to 18 miles and the 20-mile run is next week, so I'll be taking salt tablets with me and will use if needed. But can you overdo it with electrolytes, or is it more the merrier? Also, for carb loading, what's your go-to meals, or do you just add something like a litre of sports drinks to your regular diet for a couple of days? Thank you, and congratulations on the recent PBs. God, there's loads in there, isn't there?
Oh yeah, right. On Edinburgh, hang on Edinburgh, we went self-sufficient.
Yes.
In terms of and Mark Sloan, hero, was kind enough to bring our hydration vest back because he's a nice guy. You might not, Chris, to have a nice guy like we had up there, but we did go self-sufficient so we could carry exactly what we carried in training. And I would recommend you do the same in terms of what electrolytes you've been taking on and what you've been taking on, so you can literally fuel it accordingly to what you've been doing. In terms of the other thing, what was the other thing?
So his question is
about the fuel.
Can you overdo it in terms of taking too many electrolytes and worrying about that stuff? Because I mean, you can overhydrate.
You can overhydrate. I would do exactly what you've done in your training.
Yeah.
Don't even. I think I can tell that he's like spinning out of control because of the Marinora. Just do exactly what you've done in your training. Okay, that's
it's the main thing. Like, especially with gels as well. You've already said that you take a gel every 30 minutes and you have electrolytes. Like, don't change anything that you haven't been doing in training. I mean, if it is obviously weather dependent, you might feel like, oh, okay, it's super warm out, or you can predict what the weather's going to be like. Maybe take an extra hydration tablet or something. I know I did have quite a few just to keep yourself hydrated leading up to the race, so you sort of feel comfortable there. But please don't change anything, because you'll then sort of finish and think, oh, I wish I didn't do that. And then before you know it, it's sort of...
Actually, this is a really good example. If you Chris, if you've seen the video I had chronic pain under my rib. I overhydrated. I don't know why. I still don't understand, mate, because it's probably because I'm an idiot. I had about 2 litres of water in the room because I thought it was going to be hot. I then drank at every water station. Like, water was like never going to like be available ever again. And funnily enough, I got to like 23 miles and I couldn't run because I was in so much discomfort purely from wind. Right. And I'd taken way too much on. I'm not saying don't hydrate. If I'd have just done what I'd done in my training, I would have been just fine. Same rule applies to you. And in terms of carb loading, just go to like a pizza gaff or something, do a pet pasta, job done. Like you do like week in, week out. Nothing changes, guys. Nothing changes. The race is just an extension of your training. It's the last long run. So nothing changes. Your mindset maybe in terms of what you're trying to achieve out of it, but effectively it's just another long run. Do it exactly the same. Change nothing.
Yeah.
See?
All right. Can you believe we've got to an hour?
I know, and more importantly, Hayden has got to sing a song, and so is Toby. Someone was asking about a training plan earlier on. Yeah, we can do tailored training plans. Someone was asking about tailored. We do train. I'll be doing them all week.
Go on the website at FORDY'S.com and email me.
But yeah, right. So spin round. I've got to do 3 million laps on Sunday. I found out. Not happy about that, but that anger has sort of gone away a little bit because I know that the boys have now got to sing. If anyone's in Southend, I may be there in the morning park running. I'm not 100% confirmed yet. Depends what time I get up. But I may be in Southend. You've been warned. Admin, you're going.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to Aldenham tomorrow because it is Petra's 50th park run, 50th time volunteering on the same day, and it's also her 40th birthday this weekend. So huge love to
Massive love to PB Petra, hero, absolute legend.
And her other half is running his first 5K because he promised about a year ago that on her birthday he'd run.
Love it.
So he's done. Can I just say, guy's an absolute machine. He doesn't run. And he ran 30 minutes yesterday, like 9.5 minute miles. I was like, what's he doing?
Legend.
So we're going to have fun.
But to be fair, he's getting married to PB Petra. He's got to keep up. Do you know what I mean? With her pacing. Oh, God. Gemma, what did you say where you're going?
I think we're going to go fairly localish, just down to Hackney Marshes tomorrow because we've got the big long journey down to Curly Whirly next weekend. So. And
Jatilla, you're partying like it's 1980.
Yeah, I'm heading to Costa del Upminster in Essex for the bank holiday with a friend. So
I still think you should come on Sunday and do 84,000 laps with me.
I mean, I honestly couldn't think of anything worse.
You're going to do the outro because I've got to find the graphics so I don't muck it up.
Right. Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. You will find us on all of the standard podcast platforms, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, all of that stuff. Please head over to FORDYRuns.com/long-run if you've got any questions and email in. And huge thank you again to our sponsors at Skechers. Head over to skechers.co.uk for all of the latest trainers and clothing. The Go Ride 11s are on there, so go and grab a pair of those. Good night. We'll see you next week.
Bye, everyone.
See you.